It is 9:20 p.m. Sunday, March 29th. I did not, well, you may have noticed I didn't do a vlog last weekend. I actually went to a really big car show and took, I don't know, 600-700 pictures, posted them up on my other, my online magazine website at www.truckrun.net. I actually do have a truck that I usually take to these things, but the battery died on the truck, so, and I didn't figure that out until 7 o'clock in the morning, getting ready to leave. So didn't end up taking the truck, but I spent all day there. It was 80, 85, so I came home kind of sunburnt and just, you know, ready to go to sleep. But then I had to edit all the pictures and get those uploaded, so no video last week. And I have no idea what I would have talked about last week about what went on. I didn't make any notes. So, this week, you may have noticed on my website, late Friday night, I posted posted an article about making some bunk beds slash loft bed. And you can kind of see that right here. The idea is that over on the right, you've got what is bunk beds. I don't know, you may have remember from previous vlogs when my mother-in-law got sick and had to move in with us. So we had to move my older son into the room with the younger son. And so what the idea here is the older one's on a twin bed, the younger one's on a toddler bed that he's going to be growing out of pretty soon. And so it's bunk beds, which is the piece on the right is bunk beds, and the piece on the left is another set of bunk beds minus the legs, or yeah, the legs for one side. So eventually when my mother-in-law leaves one way or the other, we'll be able to move the older son back into his room, and all I need to do is then build another set of legs and it'll bolt right in, and there you go. We got, and then you'll have two sets of bunk beds. But the bottom legs, or the bottom section where the bottom bunk is, I'll be able to take one of the 2x6 out, and that will then make the bottom section make it a loft bed instead of a bunk bed. That's the thinking. So it's going to be kind of big being in the room, but it's not that big of a deal because that extra section is going to be a loft on top and bottom, so the top I'm just going to put a piece of plywood and some kind of cushion. Or my dad has some kind of rubber mat that he says I can have, so I might put a rubber mat up there. Hopefully, eventually, the younger one will want to go up to the top, and then that'll be a whole loft area down underneath. That's the thinking. So that, when all's said and done and they're back into two rooms, they'll each have a loft bed and it'll maximize space in their rooms. So I went today and I bought 9 2x6s and 7 2x4s and cut them all to length. This is going to be it's 2x6. That's going to be the cross braces for the bottom bunk and the top bunk. And then I have a bunch of 2x4s the same length, and then back behind the camera I have 6 2x6s. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be cutting dados out of the 2x6s. So I got them all cut now, and I'll get all 6 of them. I'll clamp them together. Hopefully you can see this, but they'll be all clamped together, and then I can get the circular saw and just cut grooves along all 6 of them at the same time, and that way they all definitely match up. So that's the thinking on that. But they're going to have dados cut at 12-inch intervals, because it's going to be 6 feet tall. So the bottom bunk, the top of the 2x6 will be at 12 inches. Then there'll be a 2x4, the top of it 12 inches, 2x4, 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 2x6, and then 2x4. And then that way, all the way around will be 2x6s where the mattresses will be. And then those will be, you have the leg, let's see, So picture this as being a leg, and this will be dadoed inside. I'm going to make a note in the video that if you wanted to, these are stairs, basically going to be a ladder, so you can just screw them from the outside. You don't have to do the dados, but I want to do the dados just to make it that much stronger. So this will be dadoed in, and then it'll be dadoed in like that, and then the long stretcher pieces will be screwed in with at least 4 screws, maybe 6, and then a carriage bolt, a 3/8 inch carriage bolt through the center, which will probably be overkill, but I'm wanting to build this and not ever have to build them or make them another bed. And we might get them new mattresses along the way, but I don't ever have to want to worry about getting another bed. Oh, and then also you'll have the leg, and you'll have the long stretcher going right here, and underneath will be another piece of 2x4 that I'm going to be screwing in. So the idea is I make all the leg assemblies with the ladder going up, and then we'll have that piece of 2x4 that's right there. It'll act as an extra bracing, but then the idea is I'll be bringing 3 assemblies up the stairs, and then I'll be getting the cross braces and setting them. I'll set the legs up like this. I'll get the cross braces, I'll be able to set them on top of those pieces of 2x4, clamp them, and then I can screw everything in, drill the holes, run the carriage bolts, and do all that. So it'll be playing it'll be doing 2 things. It'll be extra reinforcement, and it'll help in properly placing all the major pieces for the bed. And then if you go back and look at the picture, I'm using Jay Bates, the way that he does that he showed in his video for doing the slats across the top. I'm going to be doing the same thing. And when you watch the video, there'll be a link to his website, for his video for showing all that stuff, because I think it's a good solid way to do it. This Tuesday, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to have a video for staining and finishing the Leopold bench. So I actually stained it, I sanded it all down to 120, and then stained it with the, what was it, Verathane Golden Oak. And I'm pretty happy with it. So it was kind of a test, because I'm going to be using that same stain on the bunk bed. So, but it's got I applied 1 coat of the Golden Oak to the bench, and then it has 3 coats of polyurethane on it. So it looks pretty good. So I'm debating whether I want to keep it, because I don't really need it, or whether I'm going to try to sell it on Facebook. So I'll probably put it on Facebook, and for 50-60 bucks, and if nobody bites, then I'll keep it. But we'll see. It's just another one of those things that I don't necessarily need, but I came across that style of bench, and it was all at 30 degrees, which seemed like really far to lean back. So I wanted to build one at 22.5 just to see how comfortable it'd be. If I make another one, I'm probably going to make it 3 or 4 inches taller, because even with me being short, I lean back and it's hitting like the middle of my back, where I'd rather have it hit more towards the top. But I don't know how stable it would be. I imagine the taller it is, the easier it'll be to tip over. So if I sell this one, I'll probably make another one with a taller back and see how that works, because I can always make it shorter. But that's pretty much it. Like I said, I got all the pieces cut to length to make 3 ends. There's some kind of bug in here. 3 ends for the bunk beds / loft bed, and next weekend I want to start getting all the dados cut and dry fit, and then I'll probably stain it all, sand it and stain it all before I build it together. And then after that it's just a matter of cutting all the long pieces, which should be a pretty straightforward process. So hopefully, at the worst, by the end of April it should be up there and in place, and them sleeping in it. Hopefully sooner. you never know. Life always intrudes. So my goal is end of April. I'm hoping to have it done sooner. That's pretty much what I got going on, and there will be free plans for the free basic plans for the bunk bed / loft bed, and then I'm going to make some more detailed plans with all cut lists and cutting diagrams and all that fun stuff, which I will then be selling the expanded one, probably for $10 like I do my other plans. But that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next week.